This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about an after-school program at North Elementary School in Moses Lake, helping students enjoy learning. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Every weeknight at North Elementary School, a group of tutors takes time out to help students who are struggling with their classwork and give them new ways to learn core subjects. The Exploratorium was started in 2012 as a collaboration between North Elementary, the Boys and Girls Club, Century 21, and Washington State University Extension's 4-H Club. Director Jessica Luna talked about how the program works to help North students better understand the curriculum and also expose them to new concepts and projects.
So what we do is we're an enrichment program, so we come alongside the teachers in the school, and our main focus is math, like STEM, so science, technology, math, engineering, and coming alongside and reading, getting their levels up. So our goal is every year to have a 5 to 6% increase on the students that we have. So we target 80 students throughout the whole year and then watch them grow. So what we do is we take the 2nd through 5th graders, and from 4 to 5, we do homework, and then we do a computer program called MathWiz to help them on their math. And so after that, from 5 to 6:30, they can choose. They can either have recreational time in the gym with the Boys and Girls Club, they can go have art with them over there, and we have STEM projects here. So 2 out of the 5 days we do STEM projects, and then sometimes they go longer. Sometimes I do week-long projects with them where they have to do research, if they're engineering, if they're building bridges, if they're building certain structures or learning about the structures. We learn about that and research that because they're older, so we work mainly with those. And then on Mondays, every other week, we do culture days. So we teach them about our culture. So we've learned about Mexico, we've learned about Russia. They want to learn about China, so that one will be our next one. So those are some of the things that we do. One
of the biggest problems for students who struggle is feeling the frustration of not being able to keep pace with their peers. North Elementary Principal Kelly Frederick said the Exploratorium helps kids overcome their frustration and find enjoyment in learning.
Right, if we can start that cycle of success, whether it's after school, whether it's in the classroom with your extra para helping out, or it's in that teacher that makes that connection and finds that, it adds that persistence or grit to a student for wanting to, value learning for themselves. And it's not just a place I have to go, but it's a place I want to go and want to learn. This all just helps each other do that because they're helping build the vocabulary they're going to hear. And Jessica being in the classroom and learning what the same language, math is being taught different than a lot of our parents know, or how we did it when we were going to school. And so all the tutors, everybody needs to be on the same page to help the child just simplify it. And so that does help us.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
In Soap Lake, a group of residents have spent many weekends this year picking up garbage throughout town. Reporter Cameron Probert has the story.
A group of Soap Lake residents picked up trash along Grant Road Saturday morning. Members of Soap Lake's trash mob decided to clean the area after spotting litter along the road earlier in the week. The mob has been active for roughly a year and is headed by Keith and Sadie Dolge. They travel to various sections of the city where litter gathers and pick it up to make the city look nicer for people entering. The mob has found tires, paint, and once a bowling ball on the side of the roads. The most difficult item to pick up are plastic shopping bags, which become shredded as they travel. Keith Dolge said at times they can collect more than a truckload of litter from the side of the road. The mob spends a maximum of an hour cleaning. They finished the section of Grant Road by 9:40 a.m. on Saturday. The trash mob was joined by Soap Lake Elementary School's Give a Hoot Club, which cleaned along Division Street. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
And hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Don Morello with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News. Our forecast on this Friday evening brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. And our forecast for the weekend looks great. Seasonal temperatures, rather uneventful, but late Monday, Tuesday, another little winter-type system coming in, maybe some snow on Tuesday. And then after that, a very nice but very chilly holiday coming our way next week. 41 and 23, the extremes here in the city today. A very chilly start at 23 degrees, but far from the record low of 12. Get a lot colder, and some of us might be in the teens by Thanksgiving morning. 41 and 17, speaking of teens this morning, in Moses Lake. So a little chilly start, but far from the record of 6. As far as currently outside, 35 degrees. The dew point's pretty dry, 18. So again, another chilly night in store for tonight with a light wind and mainly clear skies, but not as chilly as what we woke up to this morning. Maybe a degree or two milder, but still pretty chilly. Nationally, if you're traveling, have a little winter situation through the Great Lakes. That'll continue through Saturday, scooting off into Canada by Saturday night, Sunday. Notice in our neck of the woods, nothing much going on. So let's zoom on back into our vicinity and can see up to our northwest clouds and some showers, some inland snow showers in the higher elevations of western Canada, but staying away for the weekend, which is good news. But eventually, things will slide south. And another cold shot coming our way with a little bit of snow, as I mentioned, by Monday night, if not by Tuesday. But until then, looking pretty good. Look at all this sunshine for our Saturday. 40s and 50s west of the Cascades, the inland northwest, a little chillier, of course. Mid-30s for the most part, and maybe a mountain snow shower possible. As we zoom into the basin here, you can see temperatures in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Normally the daytime highs around 41 or so. So a little bit below seasonal levels, but not too bad to take. I don't think, at least. Taking a look at the rest of the weekend, we are looking for, again, a fairly decent weekend to get out and enjoy. Temperatures near 40 for the most part for daytime highs here in the basin, and mid-20s for lows, although, again, Moses Lake area maybe down into the upper teens to near 20 to start Saturday morning. Monday, look for the winds to increase a bit, clouds increasing late in the day, and again, by overnight Monday into Tuesday, a rather wintry situation developing. So if you're traveling for your plans on Thanksgiving, maybe you want to get that out of the way Sunday, Monday before Tuesday might disrupt some of your traveling plans. But then that moves on by. You can see temperatures chilly as we slide into the holiday. But temperatures still not too bad with plenty of sunshine. So hopefully you have great plans for the weekend. Stay right here because, of course, sports is coming up next.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go Flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Moses Lake's Jessie Louetta is taking her game to the next level. The talented point guard has directed the Chiefs' attack the past 3 years in the Big Nine Conference and looks to have what it takes to make an impact at the collegiate arena. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
It's official. Moses Lake High School senior and star basketball player Jessie Louetta has signed a letter of intent to play next season at the University of Gonzaga. Basketball runs deep in the Louetta family as Jessie's older sister Jordan currently plays at the University of Oregon. Jessie thought about bringing her talents down south to Eugene, but ultimately fell in love with the campus and family environment Gonzaga has to offer. The star player also formed a special bond with second-year head coach Lisa Fortier and can't wait to get to work.
It's really strong. I've known her for a long time. She was an assistant coach there before she was head coach, and I used to go there for camps with Strophy in the summer, and I've been close with them before, so it was nice for her to be my coach.
Jessie's dad, Javier, expects his daughter to compete for playing time immediately. He thinks she's too competitive to sit out a redshirt season.
I think she'll compete for playing time right away. Jessie's not one to just sit back and let I think she's ready for it, too. So I don't see her sitting back and just taking a year off. She's going to go right in and both feet ready to go.
Jessie's high school basketball coach Matt Strophy has high expectations for her star point guard. He thinks she's the missing piece to the Gonzaga puzzle.
They've had some good teams, and they've been missing some little things. And when we watched them, Chad Utter and I went up and watched Gonzaga play Tennessee in that round of Sweet 16. And honestly, the difference between them winning and losing, I think, was Jessie.
Jessie's glad the signing is now behind her, and she can't wait to suit up in that Bulldog uniform.
It's been a long journey to get here, and I'm happy it's done, and I know what I'm going to be, and it's just really exciting.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Moses Lake takes on number 7 ranked Richland in quarterfinal state football action Saturday afternoon at Lions Field. This is the deepest post run in the tenure of Coach Todd Griffith and staff. The Chiefs had to hold off a determined number 8 ranked Bellarmine Prep last week to advance to the game with the Bombers. Here's a look back at how they pulled it off.
It was a thriller at Lions Field with Moses Lake hosting Bellarmine Prep in first-round 4A state football. Moses Lake took advantage of an early Lion turnover when QB Wes Harrington found Henry Russell for a 27-yard touchdown.
And that is caught for a touchdown. What a great toss and a catch there.
The Lions then fought right back, kicking a 19-yard field goal, cutting the score to 7-3. Bellarmine took the lead 5 minutes into the second quarter when QB Christian Moore found receiver Christian Brown for a 16-yard score. Down 10-7, the Chiefs drove right back down the field and regained the lead when Isaiah Thomas scampered 15 yards into the end zone.
Gets through a hole, cuts back inside, touchdown Moses Lake. Another great effort there by Thomas.
Thomas would then score on a pick six just 15 seconds later, giving the Chiefs a 21-10 lead at halftime. In the second half, the Lions came out strong when Amal Lewis scored on a 2-yard run, closing the gap to 21-17. Lewis would find the goal line again just 4 minutes later, giving Prep the lead 24-21. Down 27-21 after a Prep field goal, the Chiefs' Wes Harrington went down low on a QB keeper to give Moses Lake a 28-27 lead. The Lions then drove back down the field, keeping the drive alive with a big fourth down conversion. Down 1 with 30 seconds left, the game was on the line for kicker Bryce Ben-Dixon.
Here's your ball game. Chiefs have had a couple of blocks this year. They come up with one here.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is no good. That is wide left.
That is unbelievable.
Moses Lake hangs on for the 28-27 victory and are set to face off against Richland in state quarterfinal action this Saturday.
A couple more football games of local interest has Almira Cooley Heartline taking on the Tucci Tigers in 1B 8-man football at Lions Field. Kickoff is 5 p.m. Number 1 ranked Royal heads to Spokane to match up with Colville at Gonzaga Prep High. The game is scheduled for a 6 p.m. start. Have a great weekend. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our next story is about Ephrata High School's annual cabaret, which continues this weekend with shows on Friday and Saturday night. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
The 2015 edition of the Ephrata High School Cabaret kicked off this past weekend in front of a crowded house at the Ephrata Performing Arts Center. The theme of this year's cabaret is the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, and the 3-hour show combines the vocal, musical, and stage talents of many Ephrata High School students.
3, 2, 1. Edward! Are you messing with me? You just messing with me? Either you playing some messed up game or you straight inside my head.
Senior Sean Bowie has been part of the cabaret for the past 3 years and is one of the MCs, a role he's always wanted to do.
My first time ever attending cabaret was my freshman year, and that's the first time I ever even heard about it. And I think I just sang a song on my guitar that year. But from then on, I started like hearing about the MCs. Like I saw them my first year. I was like, oh my gosh, like they're so funny. Like I want to be a part of that. So that's when I started becoming an MC my sophomore year. And from then on, we've created skits, and we just sit down together and just talk it out. And like we all put in suggestions and stuff. And it's like the process of like a couple months, and then we just all like find these puzzle pieces and just like fit them together to make up the whole show. So it's pretty cool.
For the performers, being on stage is a test of both their talents and nerves. Junior Jessica Baer pulls double duty as a singer and as part of the tech crew, and she said some of the hardest work is done by the students who are outside the limelight.
Backstage, it's incredibly difficult during the show because you have to make adjustments the entire way through. If something goes wrong, we have 5 ways to fix it. Especially backstage, because the curtains stick all the time. We've got 5 people with different things to just go, and we are constantly running around trying to make it the best show possible, make sure that people aren't just sitting there wondering what's going on. We want to make it go and make it smooth.
You will get through this, Maya. You'll find a new direction. I love you.
Senior Meredith Plagerman followed her brother's footsteps in joining the cabaret and said she's not ready to see her 4 years on stage come to an end, but she appreciates the show's uniqueness.
I don't want to think about that. I have a feeling I'm going to cry. It's just the past 4 years have been so much fun, and I'm not excited for it to be over. It's an amazing opportunity. I know when you just like try to explain cabaret to other schools, like, hey, you guys should come or something, they don't even understand. It's definitely something that's not around, but I think it really helps. You get experience and background knowledge of how performing and the theater works. So it's an amazing opportunity that a lot of people should take advantage of.
The 2015 Ephrata High School Cabaret finishes its run with shows on Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m. In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. The next story is about Moses Lake's holiday tree lighting to ring in the Christmas shopping season for downtown. Reporter Cameron Probert was there and has the story.
And with that, dozens of people welcomed the beginning of the holiday season at the Moses Lake Business Association's annual tree lighting. The event marks the beginning of the Christmas shopping season in downtown Moses Lake. Several of the stores got into the holiday spirit by decorating their windows with lights, putting up trees and ornaments, and holding events and sales for the event's attendees. Jasmine de Beaumont, the association's executive director, said she was happy with the event.
We got all the Christmas decorations, got them up, everything looks sparkly and fun. It definitely brings Christmas right now.
Volunteers started preparing 3rd Avenue on Tuesday by putting up lights on the trees and hanging wreaths and banners from the light poles. Vern Hellewell and his granddaughter were stringing lights from the final tree at Sinkayou Square Friday afternoon.
Do 3 blocks. We start by the post office and we do clear down to Alder.
The stretch takes about 100 boxes of lights to decorate. Hellewell started volunteering to hang the lights when the association began holding the event. Hellewell and his wife used to own Cobblestone Corner and continued to participate in the event after they closed the store.
And we had a business, and I believe in it, and I believe in shopping local, and so I'm here.
People often stop Hellewell while he's working to thank him and the association for putting up the decorations and making downtown look nice for the Christmas season. As the time to light the trees drew closer, people filled Sinkayou Square to listen to performances from the Basin Community Theater and the Voices of a New Day choirs, and to watch the Rocking Bee Cloggers. After the performances, people found a tree and began the countdown. Hellewell explained the association couldn't arrange to light the trees from a single switch, so they needed to be lit individually.
It's all about the kids and having fun. And
for iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about Tuesday's windstorm that caused widespread damage and power outages. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
Grant County residents had to batten down the hatches yesterday as fierce winds pummeled most of the Pacific Northwest. The storm reached Ephrata just after noon, rattling trees and sending leaves and debris everywhere, and more rural areas had to deal with dust, which became a much bigger problem later in the day. The wind hit Soap Lake hard enough to cause breakers and a turbulent tide, and a large flock of Canada geese found themselves grounded on the shoreline, though some were daring enough to try to take to the skies despite the adverse conditions. Downtown Soap Lake was relatively unscathed, but the new flagpole at the top of Main Avenue East got its first big test since being put in over the summer. State Route 17 became a treacherous span of road for several hours as drivers had to contend with not only the wind, but a massive cloud of dust, which made visibility difficult. The Grant County International Airport was shut down as the entire area was covered by a cloud of dust so thick that the control tower virtually disappeared. Moses Lake was bombarded with high winds all evening as signs rattled and some residents decided to brave the elements anyway. I-90 was shut down at Vantage due to the conditions, making evening freeway traffic lighter through Grant County, but the wind managed to cause some damage to buildings like the Moses Lake Ramada Inn, which had a section of its roof blow away during the early evening. The Grant PUD reported power outages across the county with sustained wind speeds of up to 50 miles per hour and gusts of 97 miles per hour at Priest Rapids Dam. PUD crews were still working to restore power to customers Wednesday morning, and clear skies allowed for the cleanup to get underway. In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And that wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.